Station, everybody. Station. Well, it is Sunday. We all made it through the rest of the week. We all know what that means. And it's football season. So on top of a great week, I get to watch my team lose. So it's always exciting. Look forward to it every Sunday. But
Nice.
How are you guys doing? How was your week?
Doing pretty good. Had a few days off. Got to enjoy it.
Very
Mainly.
cool. Very cool. For the most part.
Yeah.
My weekend's pretty good. I might or might not have, but I did, buy a Golden Age DC today.
Awesome.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
So yeah, look for that on my channel probably next month.
Without spoilers, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big is this for you?
For me?
Yeah. With 10 being the holiest of holy grails for you.
It's a good 6 or 7.
Okay.
High 6 or 7, maybe even a high 7.
Still worth to get excited for.
Yeah, price was good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony.
Yo.
Let's make a bet.
All right.
I'll trade you one of my Green Lantern if I lose.
Okay.
And if you lose, you give me one of your signed Green Lanterns. Okay?
I'm listening.
I'm betting that Lasso picked up a Wonder Woman book. You want to take this bet?
No, I don't. I don't want to take that bet. Not even in the slightest. That doesn't seem very safe to me. So
I released a video earlier this week, and I had huge collection news. I don't know if you guys had a chance to see this or not. And maybe I shouldn't mention it now, but
I think I saw this video.
I'll just say it, because I'm not one of those who brings something up and then say, "Oh, I can't say." That's what Tim does. Oops, he's not here. Anyway, in this video that I dropped this past week, I now have every Silver Age Wonder Woman on up.
Very cool.
Wow,
So all that's left for me is Golden Age. And incidentally, I bought a Golden Age comic book today, a DC.
You sure you don't want to take that bet, Tony?
I'm good. I appreciate the offer, although I will say on the show, I'm undefeated in bets. I've never lost. I'm batting 100% accuracy.
Tony bet one of the fanboys something one time, and that fanboy hasn't come back since he lost.
I know. Funny how
W
that
is a W.
I
got to admit, if I would have lost, I probably never would have came back either. Just to be safe. But anybody got any interesting DC news?
I do, yes.
Right.
It was a slow week, but
indeed it was.
There is a little bit to talk about here. So the first thing, I don't think we've talked about this yet. In fact, I think this just came out a few hours ago. James Gunn has...
Dang, you stole my news.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Go for it.
Well, you asked.
That's true.
James Gunn has confirmed that he's working as soon as he finishes filming Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which I guess is set to start here any week now. After that, he is moving back to DC for some top secret project that has nothing to do with the Peacemaker
or the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
I was reading that, and my 2 cents on that. Again, this is purely speculative based on a couple articles that I'm reading. It is possibly, no way of knowing, Birds of Prey. A real Birds of Prey movie.
I would like a real Birds of Prey movie.
Bringing back the Black Canary and the Huntress from the terrible Birds of Prey movie.
No.
I got to be honest.
Including Batgirl.
You mean
I don't think it's going to generate a lot of interest, to be honest. After the first movie flopped, I mean, do people care about the characters that much? There's so many interesting DC characters. I don't get that.
I'll tell you something. I think that you watch the Birds of Prey TV show versus the Birds of Prey movie, you've got two totally different versions of the same characters. And although, I mean, the TV show had some problems, yes, I would rather have that version any day over the movie version.
Yeah. Copy brings up a good point. Justice League Dark could be fun. I would agree to disagree. I don't think comedy is really their strong suit in Justice League Dark. I could be wrong. It could be a huge hit, but if I had to pick, I would say no thank you, James Gunn, on Justice League Dark. That's just me. I think he did great in the Suicide Squad because they have that banter back and forth. So,
well, since he normally does team movies or group movies, I would assume that it's going to be some type of a group project.
Yeah, and keep in mind he's also doing Peacemaker series. Which I saw I don't know if any of you saw the teaser trailer for that.
Mm-mm.
There's really nothing to get excited about. It literally was a teaser trailer. So unfortunately, they didn't give us a whole lot of information, but that is in the works.
Oh, and that's another one where I'm just not excited for it. Like
Peacemaker, it's on HBO Max, and I get to watch it for free. So if I don't like it,
I mean, I'll give it a shot, but it's again, it's not something that's going to get me super interested. Like
I tell you what, though, HBO Max has my attention with all the stuff coming out. You know what I mean? All the Green Lantern Corps, Constantine, Zatanna, Justice League Dark, Madame Xanadu.
Did you see they're also coming out with a 3-part docuseries on the history of DC Comics?
Yes, that is going to be great. For those of you who are big DC guys like us, if you have not seen the documentary Necessary Evil, which is about DC villains, and Christopher Lee, Count Dooku, is the narrator in that, and you get great appearances by Jeff Johns and all those guys, Jim Lee. That's a great documentary. I hope they kind of stick to that format. I think it worked really well, but who knows? So, but yes, there is a documentary on DC Comics coming very soon, so heads up for that.
Cool.
Do you guys see any other news?
Yes, not Justice League, but Injustice 3. For those of you who've been collecting the comics like me and playing the games, I don't play the games, but I just like to watch the cutscenes. Injustice 3 is in the works. Allegedly the roster has been leaked. Some pretty cool things, I think. Killer Croc and Red Tornado or my two fan favorites they picked for them to come out. And they always have like a few celebrity characters that are in the game just for fun that aren't in DC Comics. And this time they're starting off with He-Man.
He was in DC Comics. He got his start in DC Comics.
I know, but I mean, like, not normal part of like DC continuity. Like they had Hellboy last time, a couple Mortal Kombat characters, the Ninja Turtles. Their storyline was fun, but I guess they're kicking things off with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, which means they have to have Skeletor. That would be really funny, I think. But I would agree. It is a relatively slow DC news day. The only other one that I have to talk about is I guess there's a really cool Halloween comic coming, and it is about Darkseid.
Yep.
So I like Darkseid. Who knows? It might be awesome. So we'll see.
Well, I want to say one thing about He-Man real quick.
Sure.
Nobody should give Lois Lane any guff about not being able to tell that that's Clark Kent as Superman, as opposed to the people who know Prince Adam of Eternia in He-Man. I'm just saying, and I'm leaving it there.
Yeah, that's you bring up a good point. It doesn't, like Diana, she doesn't really have she didn't even have glasses. She just puts her hair up and all of a sudden no one knows who she is.
Yeah. Diana wore glasses sometimes. Not so much more recently, but more in the past she wore glasses.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? You can just, let's put my glasses on. No, now no one knows who I am.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But yes.
So I haven't heard either of you mention what I found to be the most interesting DC news this week, especially for collectors. Now, this is going to be a little different, but Tony, you might know about this. Did you see DC Comics has announced their first NFTs?
Yes. I was going to talk about it, but I figured a lot of people, there's not a lot of interest, other than you, me, and a few others that I know of.
So NFTs, if you don't know, I think they stand for non-fungible tokens.
Yep.
It's essentially it's like digital currency, like your Bitcoins or something, right? It's based on the blockchain encryption. But what NFTs are is they're kind of like these limited collectible digital coins.
It's a digital pog.
It's a digital pog, yeah. But the thing is, they're limited, and you can't reproduce these because they've got the blockchain on there showing the lineage to show that it came from the original author. So in 2 days, on October 5th, they're in advance of DC fandom, which is, I think, the 15th or 16th, is it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
The 16th, I think. Mm-hmm. On October 5th, in advance of the fandom, they're going to be launching the first of these coins for each of the different characters, like Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Superman. And Jim Lee apparently has curated all of this. And from the sounds of what I was reading, it almost sounds like they picked covers, like famous covers. And I'm thinking about this, like, hold on, like, as collectors, we like going after these limited prints and all this. This is going to be the first ever of these. It might be worth taking a look at. I mean, I have no idea what the price is going to be.
You know what I mean? For free, you know?
Well, no. So the ones on the 5th are not free, from my understanding. They're the ones, I don't know what the cost is. But then on, I think, the 16th, which is, I think, fandom, if you register for fandom on the 16th, you get a free one as well.
Is it? Do you know if it's a free one of your choice or just a random?
I think it's a free one for fandom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the ones on the 5th in 2 days is the ones of your choice.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, I don't know. It sounds like it's going to be a random. You get a character or a cover, from what I read. But that would be great if I could pick.
So I got a couple questions now.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about what you're talking about, but not a whole lot. I know that there's a resale market for these, but is there a chance that if just a common person like me bought, say, a Wonder Woman one, and for the lowest price, could I get a rare? Is that possible, or is there only going to be a rare in like such a high monetary tier that I could?
I think they said there's 3 tiers of rarity that you get to choose from.
But you get to choose from.
I think, again, I don't know, because the messaging was very limited. I think we'll find out on the 5th when they go live.
Okay, my other question is, I don't know if either one of you know this, but say I got one, could I trade that? I could trade that with one of you if I wanted to, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah, you have like a wallet, a digital wallet. Okay. Yeah, and every time you do, it's that lineage, as I understand it, that will carry through with that.
Yep.
So there'll always be some type of a tracker that said that either one of you got it from me.
Yes, that's what ensures the rarity, because it's encrypted, so you can't crack it, right? And then it has that lineage so that you can see that it originated from DC Comics.
Gotcha.
And if somebody else goes ahead and copies it digitally, you will be able to see the fingerprint to show that it is not real, and they can't fake it because of that encryption.
Yeah. I tell you, the person that I think that would be most likely to copy something like that is 801.
That's
he has it right in his name. And also, I say this many times, and nobody ever bites when I say this. I have seen him with the kitty cat ears on. He works for Catwoman. He's one of her henchmen.
Tell you what, if they sign the right Catwoman, I would also sign up for free to work for Catwoman.
And I mean, he lives pretty much in Gotham City.
That's true.
I'm telling you, he works for Catwoman. Maybe not full time, but at least part time.
He teleworks for Catwoman. He works from home.
I just put it out there. So.
He's no good.
So yes, sign up. Get the DC NFTs. I know that I am because this is right up our alley. I would have to agree with Fu. I mean, this is one aspect for the very first time. You know, it's essentially you have getting a rare Pokemon like right out of the gate.
Right.
Who knows? But
and how many people actually even know what an NFT is yet?
Not many.
10 years from now, if it takes off, it might not. But if it does, and people are trading these things, imagine like those first ones. If you get that top tier,
there is an artist who did a Batman one, but it wasn't like sponsored by DC. He just did a Batman one.
Right.
They sell for about $10,000 to $12,000 a piece, and it's
Nice.
digital. It's all digital, but it's
Nice.
it's bizarre, and I don't understand it. All I know is I need to be a part of it for the future.
Yeah.
Jose
It's crazy.
Jose Delbo, who's a legendary comic book artist and worked on Wonder Woman and Batgirl, among many other DC characters. He did a Wonder Woman NFT that sold. I mean, he made millions of dollars off of this.
Yeah.
And he was the one, after this happened, he was like the very first comic book artist that all of a sudden the rule came out from Marvel and DC that their artists couldn't do that. It was
after
right
he already made a couple $1 million, they all of a sudden changed the rule.
Yeah, because they wanted to do their own.
Yeah, they saw like, oh man, this is something we could put no effort in and see huge returns.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But hey, good for him. He's in his 80s and he just made, $1 million+ off of something.
He made more by selling just a few digital tokens than he did in his entire comic book career.
You're probably right.
Well, good for him. I'm very excited. I think
I'm going to see about getting my own Fuminati tokens created. I'm sure it will make me a millionaire too, right?
Yeah, it'll be the next Shiba Inu coin. Food for $1.
Forget crypto. NFTs are our future. And when I say crypto, I don't mean the dog.
Right.
You're right. We as the fanboys were toying around with the idea of doing maybe a live DC watch party, not on YouTube because someone will get the band hammer, but maybe on Discord. I don't know. We're still farting around with the idea, so stay tuned for that. But
panic at the Discord.
Yeah, it'll be a Discord. Maybe we can force one of the mini Fuminatis to go ahead and make that happen. Yeah, that would be great.
Well, you guys need to stay on me about maybe looking into these NFTs, or at least signing up and getting a free one, so I don't miss out this week, because I got appointments and stuff going on this week. So
yeah,
all right. Yes.
I know after the show I'm going to do it. So if you hang out a little bit, maybe we can.
I'm setting my alarm now.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm at least signing up tonight. So
you have nothing to worry about now. It's done.
It's done, right? There you go. But anybody else got any crazy news? Any DC news at all? I know you said it was pretty slow.
I'll just say that I went to this comic show today, and they did have a cosplay contest, and there were some really good cosplay performers. I was not one of the participants in that. I was just a viewer, but I just want to go on record as saying that the Wonder Woman cosplay won today, the grand prize of everything. So go WW.
What Wonder Woman was she? Like from the movies?
She was the gal from the Gal Gadot movies. The first one. The first movie.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yes, we are here for Day of Vengeance, because that's why everybody's here.
Right.
We are wrapping up final 3 issues of this really fun, quick story that has been really great, I think. But I think Mr. Comic Fu is going to kick us off with issue number 4.
All right.
I was going to say, or not. Maybe he forgot. I don't know.
No, I did. I've got it. I was just pulling it up.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. So issue number 4, Day of Vengeance. First off, if you missed last week, or if you just need a reminder, we left off with Enchantress had just super powered Shazam, who's fighting the Spectre. Super powered him with the magic that she's kind of pulling from all the different magic users across the world. Meanwhile, Detective Chimp and what's her name?
Nightshade.
Thank you. Detective Chimp and Nightshade are off trying to find this young girl named Lori that apparently can save the world. And we've got Ragman and somebody else from this newly formed Shadow Pack group that has just taken out Eclipso, who has been controlling the Spectre. So we kick off issue 4 here with some narration by Detective Chimp. He narrates this entire story, I think. And it's cool because they kind of give this origin for him where he was just a normal chimp in the forest, didn't have any exceptional intelligence or anything, just doing his chimp thing. And he gets captured and taken to the circus and named Bobo the Amazing Detective Chimp, where basically he hits things that 2 buttons, one that says yes and one that says no. And the guy on the circus stage basically asks people in the crowd a question, and the chimp predicts yes or no. So that's his detective skills, basically. But he's still just a chimp. He also mentioned, he's like, don't feel bad for me. You think I'm living this idyllic life and out in the forest, and now you took me out to this strange new world. He's like, no, it's not like that at all. Even out in the forest, we deal with all the same things you guys do: politics, wars, famine, murder, betrayal. And there's this scene of these chimps battling it out. So kind of funny. He's like, he's like, I get a bath. He's like, all like, everything's taken care of for me. It's great. Then I guess some dog that he's hanging around with takes him to the Fountain of Youth in Florida. And this is where he gains his heightened intellect and becomes the true detective chimp that we know today. He gets fired from the circus because he's too good at his predictions, and people are getting a little freaked out by him. And so then he tries becoming an actual private eye, but turns out like he doesn't actually have any authority, because he's not even a citizen of the United States, much less a human. So he being a private eye isn't too effective because he can't enforce anything. Let's see. So then it flashes back to this house, this home that Nightshade and Detective Chimp had left off at the front door, looking for this little girl, Lori, who apparently can save the world. And they're having this discussion. They're sipping tea, having this discussion with her father in their living room, and basically kind of telling him that, yeah, we need your daughter. She's going to save the world. And Chimp basically gives this like story about how he was a drunk for the last 50 years, and but he sobered up 2 days ago. So and decided that he'd help out this little group called the Shadow Pact save the world. So it's kind of silly, but just at this moment, you can tell this must have been happening just prior to Enchantress harnessing all this magical power throughout the world in the last issue, because just then we see, as they're sitting there on the couch, the two of them are kind of put into this like daze, this hypnotic daze, and their magic is currently being channeled to the Enchantress and then on to Shazam. It's at this point too, because again, Chimp's narrating this whole thing, that we learn that all of the different magic users that are currently contributing to this to Shazam's power right now, they can also see through each other's eyes. It's funny because Chimp says, oh yeah, seeing myself through Nightshade's eyes, I'm not quite the good looking guy that I see in the mirror. And we flash back, we see that Shazam is now like taller than multi-story buildings. He and the Spectre have both grown, although if anything, the Spectre appears to be getting a little smaller, as Shazam's just so super powered and is just really knocking the Spectre out. The Spectre doesn't look like he's standing a chance right now. There's buildings falling as the Spectre's smashed into them, but also throughout like other magical lands and stuff, where I guess their heroes with their magical abilities had been providing certain positive benefits that now, with their magic being, provided to Shazam, is causing issues on their world. So for example, we get this world where these floating cities, and I guess the cities float because of magic. And so with less magic, now the cities are crashing to the ground. What were some of the other ones? In a world of poets, all language has simply been forgotten in the blink of an eye. There's two-headed mutants being born on some planets to people's pets and farm animals and things like that. Meanwhile, Shazam is battling on. And this is where Enchantress, and remember the last issue, she warned that if she takes on too much magic, she can turn evil. And that's where we see at this point, she does begin to lose it and is starting to turn evil and eventually lashes out at the Shadow Pact. It's at this moment her kind of link to all the magic users isn't exactly funneling to Shazam the way it was previously. We then flash back to Ohio, which is where the Chimp and Nightshade were. And we get our first glimpse of this girl, Lori. And she's talking to, I guess, her former boyfriend, Kyle. I wasn't sure. Was that Kyle Rayner?
Of course it is.
What's
of course
that?
it is.
Yeah. And well, anyway, if it is, she's breaking up with him. So, but she enters the house and sees her father there and Chimp and Nightshade in this like coma state on her couch. Like, what is going on? She calls Chimp a monkey and Nightshade a hooker because of the way she's dressed. And her dad's like, yeah, I guess they think that like you can save the world. And that's where he asks her, he's like, are you a superhero? At that point, flashes back to the Shazam Spectre fight. And at this point, Enchantress is beating up on the Shadow Pact. And Shazam is beginning to lose because now he's powering down. He's beginning to shrink again. And Spectre sees this and takes advantage of it and just takes out Shazam in one blow. So Shazam is out cold on the ground now. And just as Enchantress is getting the better of the Shadow Pack, she's attacking Ragman. We get we see the Spectre pull the spear out of Eclipso's chest that was they threw into her last issue, and she comes back alive because I guess she wasn't dead. The spear was kind of like limiting her in some way, and she flies this weakened Spectre out of there. And now the Shadow Pact is stuck dealing with this evil Enchantress. And that's where Blue Devil wakes up and he's like, kind of cracks his neck a bit. And he's like, I got this. And he just walks up and in one punch, he just levels her and she's out cold on the ground. And at this point, Detective Chimp, Nightshade, and Lori all show up at the scene and meet the Shadow Pact. And that's where it leaves off.
The Green Lantern Corps makes a guest appearance at the end. This is I love this story. One thing that kind of irks my nerves since a lot of stuff has changed since it came out in 2005. It still bothers me now. I hate it when DC turns villains into good guys. And that's kind of what they're doing with the Enchantress. Like, oh, she went crazy. She killed a bunch of, she's fighting the Shadow Pack. No, silly. Like, she's a bad guy. Like, you don't get it. She's just being herself. I'd be concerned if she was being nice. I'd be concerned if she's being nice. So I'll pick up here. Issue 5. We start off in space where Eclipso has the Spectre, and she's telling him to like rest and heal, and that we'll go ahead and continue the fight once you're better. Cut to the Shadow Pack, and they are in the Oblivion Bar, and they're celebrating, so to speak. That they think the thing's kind of over, but they know that the Spectre has gotten away. They haven't forgot about that. And everyone's just kind of like getting a drink and a food. And I really find this kind of funny. Like, all these people are very magical. Like, they can cast different spells. They can do all sorts of stuff. But if you look at the Enchantress, what she's doing right here, she actually has to take ice and put it on her face. There's no spell or magic you can do to like stop some pain. You still got to use some ice. Okay, whatever.
He hit her pretty hard.
Yeah, but I mean, like, this is the Enchantress. Like, I feel like she could just cast a spell or something. I don't know. So a lot of people are thinking it's over, including Nightshade. And they're kind of telling that Shazam, hey, you need to hang out with us. The Spectre is coming back. We need your help. Billy Batson Shazam says, I'm good. Thanks for the assist, but I've got other things to do, more important things to do. And I have to go do them. So he zips over to the Rock of Eternity to report on the disruption in magic. Because for those of you who don't know, the Rock of Eternity is the center of all magic. And it's the same Rock of Eternity for those of you who have seen the Shazam movie. Exact same one. And everyone is, again, kind of doing their own thing. Detective Chimp is cooking. And it looks like the Jim Rook is ironing his shirt, which I think is funny. Cut to space. Spectre and the Eclipso are having a conversation, and now they come up with a quote-unquote evil plan to get back at the Shadow Pact. I love this line here. See if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Jim Rook here is telling everybody, like, there's plenty of food. Go ahead and eat, and you have to sleep at least 6 straight hours for us to go out again and do this thing. And he starts giving people's different tasks. You know what I mean? He named Blue Devil as the team lead that's going to go out and in charge of what he say Blue Devil was. I forget, but he puts Enchantress on finding the Spectre, which is funny. And they keep referring to the Lori, the new girl, as the new recruit. There's definitely something wrong with magic. For those of you who are aware with Satana, you can speak, or she can speak backwards. Bonus points if you can read this and tell me what it says, because she speaks backwards. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. Right here. I'll give you a second.
Trees hold her.
Yeah, it's something like
Yes.
I have to put over in mine.
Her bind mouth. Bind her
Yep.
mouth.
Bind her mouth. Yep.
Yeah.
And right here, you see her bound by trees and her mouth.
Yep.
Very
There
good.
you
So you go ahead. You give yourself 5 points for speaking Zatanna. Foo's winning. It's unfortunate.
Try
Moving
harder,
on.
Lasso.
Yeah, right. So now there's a plan in place. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone knows where they're going. And they split off. Some people are in charge of tasking, looking for the Spectre. Other people have an idea of where he's going. We cut to Indonesia, which is a very religious part of the world. And they're waiting for the Spectre to arrive. And sure enough, speak of the devil, there he is. Nightshade goes after Eclipso and just levels this gal. I mean, look at that. Like, you couldn't have done that earlier. Why did you go after the girl? We could have used you. Send someone that doesn't have as cool of powers. And does the same thing with the Spectre. Just, right hook to the chin, down for the count kind of thing. And I was like, well,
That's
maybe
all
this
we
will be
needed
easier.
the whole time.
Right? Get it. You're out. But the Spectre, not Spectre, the Eclipso has a few tricks up her sleeve, including the what is it? The diamond, the mystical diamond. And so she's got some extra powers. And the Spectre goes into his, I hate to use the word spectral form, to attack Nightshade. And Nightshade can't really defend against that. So Nightshade is out for the count. I thought that was the end for a second. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not the end. But yeah, this Lori girl, and I forget what her name was. I don't know if you knew that
Black
yet.
Alice.
Was that
I think they call her Black Alice.
Black
Yeah.
Alice? Okay, Black Alice is here. She is her powers are unique. Her powers are tied to like spirits and stuff like that. So the Spectre, who's like the god of all ghosts, so to speak, he can control that. And here she can't fight the Spectre because he's like the super king of all ghosts.
Hey, go back real quick.
Yep.
Look at her outfit. It's like practically falling off, and she's calling Nightshade the hooker.
I saw that. I didn't want to point that out. I wasn't sure if it was relevant to the story, but I'm glad someone else called it out, because it was bothering me too. But yeah, the fight continues. Eclipso is giving the Shadow Pack a run for their money. Jim Rook, the Night Master, this big splash page here is doing the best they can, but it looks like they're doomed. We get left off on this big cliffhanger.
Then Darth Vader comes and
then Darth Vader comes and just kills absolutely everybody.
The Force was with him.
The Force was definitely with him, and I think Lasso is going to bring us home with issue 6.
Issue 6. Yeah. So we're kicking it off here with Black Alice. She's got the Spectre's powers, but she still can't kill him because he's just an empty spirit. So Black Alice can't hold his powers, and Spectre says, then I've won. Spectre tells Eclipso to hold them there while he retreats and gathers all his powers back to him, and tells Eclipso to destroy them if she can. So Eclipso pitches Blue Devil's trident into the ocean. That's a big problem because that was one of the few things that could affect her. The Phantom Mouse, who is the Phantom Stranger turned into a mouse form, he has an idea that he tells Detective Chimp. And Detective Chimp is like, really? It's that simple of an idea? That could work. So Detective Chimp tells Nightshade. Nightshade informs the team to send Eclipso her way, and then Eclipso disappears in this portal. And you're like, So then we cut to the Rock of Eternity, and it's Spectre versus Shazam. And Spectre's power is fully restored by this point, and Spectre takes Shazam's powers away, making him Billy Batson. And Spectre says, I think you'll find I can have whoever powers I want to, child. So he makes him sleep, and he heads into the cave to deal with the Wizard Shazam. So Wizard Shazam tells them that his mind is corrupted, and then they start to tussle between the two. That cuts us back to the group, and Blue Devil is wondering how he's going to get his trident back because it's in the ocean. They eventually ask Nightshade where she teleported Eclipso, and she says she sent her to a non-decaying orbit around the sun. So Enchantress warns everyone that Ragman might kiss them in a situation like this, which is a throwback to a previous issue. And then we find Phantom Stranger reverting back to his human form, and they're like, this is awesome. You can go and stop the Spectre. And he says, no, he's far too weak to be able to do that. So now we cut back to the Rock of Eternity, and the battle is just going on. The Wizard Shazam warns the Spectre that you can't destroy magic because it only changes form. Destroying ages of spells and contingents will bring chaos back before that they learn how to tame it. So that's what's going to happen if you take away the magic. And Spectre says that's lies. The Wizard Shazam uses Blue Beetle's Scarab and passes through the Spectre, which causes immense pain. And the Wizard starts fighting back against Spectre, and he's doing pretty good. I mean, he's really getting in there. He thinks that there's no power left in Spectre, but Spectre rises and says he is power. And he can't be permanently drained of power until all the magic is gone. He can take power from anywhere and then starts drawing from the Wizard's power. So the Rock of Eternity then starts to disintegrate. It can't hold its tether in its own dimension and starts appearing for seconds here and there in other dimensions as it continues to fall apart. One of the places that it appears is Gotham City. Then it explodes into 1 billion pieces with debris the size of a pea to the size of a house at 300 meters per second. Hundreds die in the first second that happens. We see Billy Batson falling from the sky, and he's trying to recall the magic words that will save his life. We see a girl in Oklahoma that's decapitated from debris. A chunk falls by a man in Illinois, and he knows the 6 malevolent words lost to human memory. The utterance of any one could destroy a city. And Blue Beetle's Scarab lands in El Paso, Texas. So we're back to the Phantom Stranger now, and he says, yes, the Wizard Shazam is dead. His fortress is destroyed. Many ancient evils, including the 7 deadly sins, are now released back into the world. Black Alice is like, all right, this is a lot. I need to go home and be with my father. So they decide to take her home. But the rest of the group decides to stick together as a team, for after all, they're superheroes. And that is how our story ends.
Very, very cool. So has Black Alice been anywhere else than these
I
few
wasn't
stories?
familiar with her.
Or is that someone that had just conjured up for story purposes?
I wasn't familiar with her either.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. But that
Just one
that,
of Kyle's many girlfriends.
yeah, right, exactly. She looked underage though, so he might want to keep that to himself. Yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys grade it? What is it, 1 through 5?
First of all, Black Alice's first appearance was in Birds of Prey 76.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Very cool.
So what I thought, I actually thought this was a good story. It's a story that I probably would have missed had we not, done this on Fanboys, and I enjoyed it. Just a couple minor tweaks that I would have made in the story, not real big things, but from the very beginning of the story, I mean, Spectre is in a mood. This is even before, he's kind of seduced by this thought that magic can destroy. And I wish that we at least had some type of page. I don't know if this is coming from a different storyline, what has put him in this mood, this destroying, and that never kind of gets resolved.
Right.
So I wish that there would have been at least, half a page or something of recap. So I knew what was going on.
But
here.
they do not in this story, but they touch on how he gets there. And you're right, I would agree. I don't know why they didn't put this in, because if you just picked this off the rack and didn't really know the story, you wouldn't know what was happening. But that's pretty interesting. Comic Food, what do you think?
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed the story a lot. I'd probably give it about a 3.5.
Okay. Overall 3.5. Yeah. This is a good story. I like it. So I'm right there.
I didn't know most of these characters, but I enjoyed them. I mean,
yeah, this is like I said last week, this is the Teen Titans of Justice League Dark. Shadow Pact is B-level heroes with that category.
Nice.
Yeah, this is.
I've come across those books before. In fact, I might even have a Shadow Pact 1, and I just didn't know what it was. So now I do.
Yeah, now you do. I love the story, so I'm going to give it a 4. One thing I wish they would touch on, but that would just drag the story out forever. Everyone's backstory briefly, especially Blue Devil. He's got a pretty cool one. Same with Ragman, because there's been several Ragmen dating back to it actually dates back to pre-World War II, but that's when he really got his start, was in World War II, which is pretty cool because he's of Jewish descent, and it's pretty cool how they incorporate World War II into his backstory. Growing up in Nazi Germany was pretty fun to read. But lots of great heroes. Nightmaster is pretty underrated, I think, especially with his super cool magic sword.
They really did not explain him very well.
No,
I thought Ragman, I didn't know him before this, but I got a pretty good sense of what was going on with him in the suit. Detective Chimp, they gave a real cool little origin story on, but the guy with the sword, like,
he's got a great story. He's got a great story. He really does. He really does. But
we didn't touch on it last week, but do you want to say now who Eclipso is, or who Eclipso possessed?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I don't remember.
Sue Dibney.
Sue Dibney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Who's that?
She is well, I don't know if she was
person?
then, but she was Elongated Man's wife in one.
Oh, Elongated Man, you're right.
So,
so
yes. What happens?
Yes, you're right. You're right. I remember now. In Infinite Crisis, they or was it Identity Crisis? I think it's Identity Crisis. Right? I think I'm confusing two stories, but now that you say that, I did know that. I don't know why I second guess myself, but
Yes,
Yes.
when we started on issue 1, and we actually start with Sue Divney and her getting possessed. I actually, because I wasn't sure what characters were going to be in this story or what, I actually thought this was possibly could have been an elongated man story, just because of Sue Divney, because I knew that at least pre-crisis that was his wife. I didn't know about post-crisis, so
They should do an elongated Plastic Man miniseries.
yeah,
That would be fun.
the issues never end.
No.
Just keep going.
Book show. Who's got what?
I
Who
got
wants to go
stuff.
first? I got to grab one, so I can't, unfortunately.
I didn't get one today.
Okay,
Mr.
well
Lasso.
then, I guess I'll go.
Go ahead.
Lasso.
So for book show, I brought 2 different things. This one, since Spectre was part of the story, I wanted to kind of have a Spectre theme. This is America versus the Justice Society, and it's issue number 2. And actually, not just in my copy, but in every copy that was printed, there is an error. And if you look at Spectre's word balloon over here, they forgot to put one of the words in there. So what he's saying is, release the Justice Society, die. It's supposed to be release the Justice Society or die, but they forgot to put the or in there. So that's the first part of my book show, and this has a cool wraparound cover with a little All-Star Comics Golden Age goodness there in the back, in my nice clear comic backing board.
Very cool.
And the other thing I wanted to show too, since it was Spectre, originally I thought, well, this is the perfect thing to show for book show, and then I thought, oh, this is in the S's. I have to move long boxes and bend down. And then I said, this is the Tony Fett show, and you don't go second rate on the Tony Fett show.
That's true.
You move your long boxes. You get what you need to get the job done for the Tony Fett show. So I pulled out Showcase 64, which is the 3rd Silver Age appearance of the Spectre.
Very cool.
Wow.
And I actually pulled this from an Unknown Comics mystery box earlier this summer.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Very
so
nice.
I thought that these 2 would be a nice book show.
You're right. That is a great book show. I mean, I know I'm jealous. Everyone knows
I've done my job.
everyone always has cooler books than me. I got a book show here, a couple of books. So I'll go ahead and pop my screen over. So this really cool Eclipso book comes with a little diamond. It's not a key at all. It's just really cool that you have this little 3D diamond. You can never slab this book because that diamond, I think, is raises the book. So it's a little too high, makes it a little too thick to get slabbed, but it's still pretty cool. Big. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't make myself big. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's nice and plastic. So there's our cool little Eclipso reference. I have the Spectre in his first solo title, which is pretty cool. This is a great story, by the way. I have is this the first? I think this is the first appearance of Nightmaster in DC Preview Showcase number 82 from, I didn't put the date on it. I think it's from the 70s. Joe Kubert goodness. So that's pretty awesome. Ragman number 1, which I've shown before, but it's still cool. This is his first solo title and first appearance, so he gets 2 in 1. I have the first Zatanna in her own solo title, which is one of my favorite Magic books that I have. And I got to go full screen to this one. This was an A-OK from my boy Magic Lasso. Oh, yeah, first Treasury Edition. This is the very first Treasury Edition I've ever owned. So this is
nice.
Is huge to me. This is very big. Is a big Shazam fan, and just Magic in general. And this is very cool. So this one's gonna stay in my collection forever, unless it's worth like $10 million. Then I'm sorry, Lasso.
Then you have to send it back.
I'll send some of it back. I don't know if I can do it all, but that's my cool little book show.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially talking Magic. Speaking of Magic, If you haven't noticed, Tim the Collector is not here.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yeah, well, I know, right?
Yeah, look at that.
I was playing around with a book of spells, and I sent him to another realm. To get him back, I had to do another spell, but the page is missing. I didn't notice till it was too late. So,
Wow.
we're
So
working on it.
Tim's on a different channel right now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, he's in another universe doing an X-Men review on a Marvel only channel. Yeah. Which is fun. Fun.
I'm sure he's having fun with that.
Or it is the opposite. He's in his own little version of hell.
Right.
Either one is probably accurate. Is a good guess. But who's got what coming up on their channel, Mr. Lasso? Do you have anything cool?
Yeah, let me tell you what I have done, and then I'll tell you what's coming up. So, as I mentioned earlier this week, I did a video, my 2-year anniversary on YouTube, and I had this huge collection goal. You know, I showed off some Wonder Woman books that completed my Silver Age run. So I have the Silver Age run of Wonder Woman on up from '98 on up. So that video is on there with some other books that I showed as well. And then on Friday, I dropped a cover by, and that's a series I do with Comics for Thomas and Just a Little Podcast, where we look at the A cover and the B cover and try to decide which is the better of the two covers. And we did a DC title like we always do in the first Friday of the month, and that was Red Hood and the Outlaws. So that's what's on my channel right now. What's coming up, I know that Slab-tember is over, but it isn't for me. Because on Tuesday on my channel, Tuesday afternoon, I'll drop a video. I have my very first, and Tony, you'll like this, I think. It's my very first CGC signature series slab in my collection.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's now the most money I've ever paid for a comic book, of any comic book, and there's not a Wonder Woman to be found anywhere on it.
I don't believe you.
You'll have to watch to make sure. So that's coming up Tuesday. Later this month, I'll be doing a bunch of content with Wonder Woman Day coming up later this month. I'm going to do a whole series of videos that are a little bit extra special, a little bit different than what I've done before, that are Wonder Woman comic book themed. So I'm really excited about those. The first one of those will be kicking off next Friday, the 8th.
Very cool. Not a fan of CGC. But, you know, I guess it'll be okay. No plug at all whatsoever. Mr. Fu, I'm sure you got like 1,000 things coming out. What's great about both of your guys' channels is there's always something new and exciting that I usually can't watch live and have to catch on the replay.
As long as you watch, I appreciate it.
That's the best I can do. Every once in a while, I'm able to catch live because the kid's distracted for 5 minutes doing something else. But what's going on? Anything exciting?
We just wrapped up season 2 of Building a Mystery. It went very successfully. And so this week I'm going to be getting back to mystery box and comic find videos. I just hit my LCS up. I've got some fun Silver Age again to share. I'll be opening my Jean Mallow mystery box this week. And also for the DC fans, I just released my Batman Hush video a few days ago, which was part 1 of the tag event across different collector channels. I think the second one came out today, actually. I haven't had a chance to see it yet on, was it Slim's Comics and More. So go check out my video, go check out Slim's, and then follow along. It's like every few days a new video will drop on different channels.
Very cool.
You did a great job on your video too. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
If only we got that same energy on this show. I'm just kidding.
Do you know how long those videos take to do?
It's like different when you're editing.
Yeah. There's no way I could do that every week.
Yeah. That's exciting.
It's time.
I got a video. He's confirmed. It is out. So go check it out.
Yeah. Well, sure. Tylock set the tag event up. So there you go.
Wow, they're very good. So definitely go check him out too. I did not know that I think you did say that in the description of your video that he was the the
Yeah.
mastermind. So check both those channels out. Which channel was the second one on?
I think Slim's Comics and More.
Slim's Comics and More. So
Yeah.
check.
So Tylox asked me which one I want. I said, "Oh, I don't care. Just give me whichever one comes up first." I didn't realize nobody had picked one yet. He's like, "Well, you get the first one." I'm like, "Oh man."
Interesting. Hush isn't a villain that a lot of people know or talk about. So it's kind of refreshing to talk about because he's a very undervalued in my opinion. But it's a shame they used him on the Batwoman TV show, and that's all I can say about it. What a waste.
Well, and I did that video
TV show is
too.
bad.
I did
I'm
that
sorry, go
video in the style of the retro review here. So
Perfect. See, no shame.
I channeled you guys.
Oh,
Best
yeah.
I could.
Don't forget to plug the comic you star in.
Yes. So
That's kind of
if
a
you guys
big
want to
deal.
check it out, it's a real thing. It's out. You can go get a copy. Check out Squatchy Comics on Instagram and get yourself a copy of Squatchy and Phil. It's awesome.
And mystery boxes, are you sold out yet?
No, I still have about 15 boxes. The DC boxes are sold out, but I've got a few Marvel and a few indies left. So definitely check those out. There's a Black Cat first appearance in there. I think the Transformers #1, the
Somewhere.
G.I. Joe
It's in there
silent issue.
somewhere. Not saying that that's what's left. There's something.
Yeah, no, I
Full
don't know what's
disclosure,
left.
okay.
Yes, no.
I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression that you can still get I don't know if there's one. You know what I mean?
No, in fact, I don't know if you can see. They're all lined up there behind.
Oh, there they
ready
are,
to
yeah.
ship out tomorrow morning. So everybody's got their tracking numbers already.
Yes, I
Except
got
for
mine.
those that got the special signed version of Squatchy and Foo. I've let them know that's going to be a little delayed as I wait for those books.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to it. It's the only mystery box that I enjoy. But anybody else got anything cool for the good of the group?
Nope. You mentioned Batwoman. Batwoman TV show is coming back later this month, but it's going to be on Wednesdays instead of Sundays. Just an FYI.
And Poison Ivy is coming to it. I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw that.
Another great character that doesn't deserve that kind of torture.
Yeah.
I think.
And one. Go ahead, Tony.
No, because I already forgot.
Okay. I was going to say too quickly too before we wrap up. Once again, there was another episode of Doom Patrol that I watched and went,
Yes.
"What the heck am I watching?"
Oh yeah.
As weird and freaky as that show is, I love it for just going to its own little, marching to its own little drummer.
It's sponsored by LSD, I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
At
In
some
season
point.
1, didn't they have a whole universe inside of a cow or something like
Yeah.
that?
Inside of a donkey.
A donkey.
Inside the backside of a donkey.
Yeah.
Well,
The
there's
entire world.
Yeah.
I'll say there's something freaky about a backside in this latest episode. So
Sex Patrol is the worst episode ever. Nothing like watching Sex Patrol with your mother in town for a visit. Yeah, not.
It could be
not
worse
my
if you
favorite.
get a riding crop delivered to your mom's house and have to open
What?
it.
What?
A riding crop. You didn't hear about that?
No.
I sent Stevie a horse hat and a riding crop as a joke, and I must have accidentally used his old address when he got sent to his mom's house. And so he goes over, he says, "What is this?" Because I ordered it from Amazon as a gift package, so it didn't even show it was from me. And so he opened it right up in front of her and had to explain why there was a riding crop.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
did he tell her it was because he was going to start cosplaying Madonna?
Yeah.
Because I have
good.
gone to a Madonna concert where she used a riding crop.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, and it was totally unintentional on my part. I just thought I was sending him a gag gift. I did not mean to send it to his mother.
It's funny.
That is funny. That's funny.
Whoops.
All right. Good job, gentlemen. Made it through another retro review. And I think next week we kick off. No, it's October. What are we talking about? I forget whose channel.
Big
we're on.
Wonder Woman month.
Yes.
It is Wonder Woman month, yeah.
And
I was last week, so it's not me.
I think it's Tim. Or is it you?
No, Tim
either
was
Tim or
last
Fu.
time, right? It's probably me, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably
you.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. I can do it. That's cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
So next week
All right.
we're on Fu's channel doing cool stuff.
I'll
Yeah.
get to work on my Wonder Woman theming.
There you
Yeah.
go.
What book are we reading?
Well, when we do Wonder Woman on my channel, which is going to be on the 24th, we're doing Gods of Gotham.
Okay.
But that's a 4-issue arc, so I don't know if we're busting that up or not, but we're starting it on the 24th. So we have,
So we don't have a book to read, huh?
Oh, we got plenty
We
of
have to
time to
figure
figure
this
it
out.
out.
Yeah, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll read some NFTs.
We'll do what we always do. Saturday night, we'll be like, hey, what are we reading tomorrow?
No, let's be honest. Sunday right after lunch.
Yeah.
Realize,
For those-
it's Sunday.
For those that wonder how the group chat goes, about Saturday night, someone says, what are we reading tomorrow? And then by the time Sunday rolls around, half of the panel has read a different book than what they were supposed to. You
Facts.
laugh because you know it's
Facts.
true.
It is. I've been that guy.
And I'm always
times.
the worst. I'm always the
Yeah.
one. What are we doing? Whose channel again?
Yeah. Boo has been saying for weeks, is this the week we do Gods of Gotham? And I'm like, no, not this week.
That was 2 weeks ago. Like, where are you?
It was the only one I remembered.
Oh, that's funny. That's a good, but yeah, awesome. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I want to shout everyone out real quick. We got Squatchy, we got Tylax, we got Dan the Man Piercy making an appearance. Superior Howard Reviews, Mr. Gretzky, Copy, I Collect a Lot. Poor Mike. Everyone feels bad for Mike. More Mars Comics. I almost said Moore's Comics. Well, I'm gonna have to rename like half the chat. Super Russ, Warlord, who's always enjoys our chats.
Where's
let's see.
Christy?
Oh yeah, shout out to my mom. My mom made an appearance. Thanks, Mom.
See, Christy, who remembered you? It was me.
Yeah, it wasn't even me. Go figure. That's okay. And Flashpoint, I saw him. He waved and then he left. Like traditional Flash character, in and out. Completely powerless. But that's it. Next week we're on Comic Foo's channel. See you all next week.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget to go get your NFTs.
Yeah.
For sure.